Welcome to the pond of the proving grounds where all the ducks are gone. Where have all the ducks gone? I need to feed something for my emotional state. Stabilization. But today on Duck Souls, we're going to find out what did happen to all the ducks. So, Duck Souls is a Super Meat Boy, I want to be the guy kind of indie platformer. Full of death traps and things that you need to get around and platforming style. Now, I do want to say, I kind of feel like the name was kind of not actually a good idea, because by naming it Duck Souls, you're giving it the idea that it might have Souls-like mechanics, which it certainly does not. As I said, it's very Super Meat Boy, I want to be the guy style, so I feel like they needed to try and... Those two games, in my opinion, are like the well-known titles of this kind of playstyle. So I feel like they should have done something to mimic those titles instead of Dark Souls, but... cherries, apples, oranges, apples and oranges. But anyway, similar to Meat Boy, you can slide amongst the walls, jump around, and cross. On top of that, you have a dash move that allows you to get some extra ground, break through some walls, and later on in the game, you'll also get an item that allows you to recharge it, where you have to do multiple dashes to get through some obstacles. The game does a decent job of ramping up on traps, starting early on with spikes and then jump traps and all kinds of other devices that get kind of hectic near the end of the game. Now, this is a very welcoming entry of this kind of playstyle. Like, if you played Super Meat Boy and you consider it way too hard, this is definitely something that's more entry level. Could say it's the Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars of this kind of thing. It offers a casual and hardcore, so if you want the experience where you have to do the whole stage in one go, you got hardcore. But if you want to be more laxed into the experience, you can do casual, which offers checkpoints for the stages, which makes it much easier, obviously. It's very simple rules. You die, you start the stage over or from the checkpoint, depending on your difficulty. No life meter or anything. It's very simple, and it all works. I encountered no bugs or anything. You do have some unlockables on hats and glasses and things that you can get for your duckling. You can get like cool sunglasses, bandana, that all cosmetic, nothing fancy or anything at all. It's just something you progressively unlock. There is one secret to find in the game. Nothing too mind-blowing, and the story of the game is minor as is. You are the last duck of your kind, and apparently you're sent out by the Duck Souls. Woohoo! You gotta go and find those eggs. Da, 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 da. But you'll get sent out to go find eggs in every statue to ensure the existence of all duck kind. So, nothing too crazy, it's just there for the sake of there. So, the game boasts 100 levels, but it's more like 98 since the first and last, or the intro and outro for the game's story. There's no actual puzzle in them, so I would say more 98, honestly, but it is a decent amount of stages. It is a pretty short game. Many of the early stages you're going to complete within seconds. If you have any skill in gaming, you should be able to complete most of the beginning levels in a few seconds. And they'll start taking a few minutes on some in there, but overall, it's a really quick game. If you're any decent at video games, this game's not going to last probably longer than... probably 2-3 hours. Probably, like, I wouldn't imagine even a terrible player taking longer than like 5 hours that easily. So this is like a good casual game for like on the go. So it's on the Switch, so it's perfect for the Switch. But everything else, it is on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. I don't feel like there's enough to really scream go check out this game for gameplay reasons. Now, if you're into trophies and platinums, though, this is a very easy game to get maxed out score on if you're into that kind of thing. And being a super cheap game, I really feel like that was one of the targets. Sadly, there is a market for really easy games to get platinum, full 1,000-point achievements and that. There is a market for that, sadly. And this might be partially targeting that, but it is a functional game. I didn't find any bugs. Music's just, it's alright. It doesn't like, it's not gonna break me down. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, let's go, and like, you know, head bang in the car to it or anything. It's not amazing in that kind of regard, but it gets the job done. I personally think the game did its best, actually, doing a pretty good ramp out on the traps. I think a lot of the traps in that, and the mechanics behind them, were actually not too bad. But, I don't know, the game just doesn't scream, everyone needs to play this. If you want a lighthearted Super Meat Boy that isn't as hardcore as many of its later stages get, I would recommend Dark Souls to you, especially if you're looking for an entry point in that kind of style game. But if you're looking for another Super Meat Boy, I want to be the guy, something that's gonna bust your legs and drive you insane, you're not gonna find the challenge in Dark Souls. Not at all. Now, on Steam, the game is sold as Dark Souls, and on console, it's sold as Dark Souls Plus, and I actually did go and try to find what the plus meant, because usually that kind of thing usually means there's some kind of addition, but as far as I can tell, there is nothing new. Both games have advertised 100 levels, 20 hats, so I don't really know what changes happened, if any, between normal Dark Souls and Dark Souls Plus. As far as I can tell, Dark Souls Plus isn't available on PC, so that kind of makes me also feel there's no actual changes between the two. But I did send a tweet to the devs, so if I get a reply to that before I finish editing this together, I will put that somewhere here to explain anything that is of that, and if not, then I guess it'll be lost in time, or I could put it in the comments. But anyway, Dark Souls, it works, it functions, and it's not an awful game, I would say. It's just kind of a plain game, I would say. So it's not offensive in any way, but I wouldn't say it's super original at the same time. But if you're looking for an entry point in that, I will recommend it. So what would I say the value of Dark Souls is? Again, you know, as I usually am, I am a physical collector, so I indeed own this physically. And I wouldn't really recommend getting it physically. I don't feel like this is a game that deserves needing to be in your collection physically, but there is the option for PS4 currently. Outside that, there is no other physical options. As I said, it's on PC, Xbox One, Switch, and PS4. Value-wise, I would give this game, I think, honestly, the $2 treatment, which is its PC price. It's a pretty casual and just not in a rude way, a throwaway game to pop in, play, and then be done with. It's pretty casual. I mean, it's really hard to recommend it for a lot more money, which of course makes the physical price point really difficult. Now, this game has been sold out as it was a Red Arts game, and it was completely sold out pretty quick when it came out. However, it is still for sale through Video Games Plus for $34.99 Canadian, which, let's see, 39 Canadian to US dollars turns into about $27. And if you were to look on eBay, I can see prices have went down a little since the last time I actually looked up its eBay price back when I first got the game. I actually tried it out randomly one day on stream, and I was like, I wonder what's going for on eBay. It's like, oh yeah, they're really trying to get this game up there. Prices have came down on eBay. There was a bid for 25 currently. There's a buy for $29.99 or best offer, 32, 35, 35, 33 with shipping. So there's definitely some more affordable prices, but there's definitely some listings waiting for those to go away and start jacking up on the $100 price tag. So yeah. Now, as I said, the value I gave it was the $2 value, which it sells for $1.99 on Steam, but it does not sell for that on the other platforms. It's actually $4.99 on Switch, Xbox, and PS4. And honestly, I don't really feel it's that value myself. And again, I don't even know what the plus is for. As far as I can tell, there's no difference in the two games, so I think it just means ported to the console, honestly. But again, I'll put on there if there is any particular difference the dev tells me on Twitter. I see them do tweets often, so I should get a reply from them before I finish editing this review together. But at the end of the day, it's a functional game. It's not like it's broken or anything, but it just doesn't scream anything magical to get. Sadly, honestly, most people who are going to get this game are likely after a full platinum or the 1,000 achievement points. But I do think it's a decent entry level into this kind of game. I'm not very good at these type of games. I've never played I Want to Be the Guy. Oh lord, I hope I never play I Want to Be the Guy. That game is a nightmare. I've watched a lot of people play that back in the day, and I have played Super Meat Boy, but good lord, it's freaking hard. It is hard, man. That is some tricky ass shit to do. So this is definitely a delightful entry point into that. But that's really all I can say about the game. Is outside of being a nice entry point and casual game for on the go, I just don't feel like there's a strong recommendation for this game. But if the things I've mentioned interest you, check out the game. It is super cheap, even for $4.99. That isn't expensive, but I just find it hard to justify a really high price for this. But hey, it's still in the single digits, so that's not like the worst case scenario. I mean, for heaven's sake, we've had Fallout 76 for $60, haven't we? Oh lord. Oh lord, oh lord, oh lord, oh lord, oh lord. So at least it's not pushing boundaries too much. But yeah, I am kind of confused at why it costs more on console. I mean, I guess I get they had to probably put in a little more dev time to get all working on console from the PC, but like, still, as I can tell, there's no new additions or anything, so that kind of thing's usually, And as far as I can tell, there are no DRM-free options, which would be what I would definitely recommend for this kind of thing usually. But as far as I can tell, there's nowhere that hosts this game DRM-free. It's only on Steam, so yeah, you're kind of screwed if you want that option. So, those are my thoughts on Dark Souls. I mean, Duck Souls, not Dark Souls. Duck Souls. It's a pretty forgettable game, honestly. It's not bad, like I said. It functions. I literally had no bugs or errors or anything happen in the game. It's a perfectly functional game, but it just doesn't feel or scream, please go buy this game, please go buy it. It just doesn't really give me that vibe. So, but let me know what you think. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you feel like you learned anything interesting, feel free to leave a like. If you feel like you learned nothing at all, leave a dislike guilt-free. And man, I'm expecting a lot of that on this one. Oof. I'm very sorry. Much shorter one than my usual type of stuff, but there's not really a whole lot to talk about with this game. It's pretty straightforward. So, with that, we've saved all the ducks, and they've returned to the pond, and I can feed them the duck food, because Nimble, feeding ducks white bread's not actually healthy for them, you cruel bastards! You think I was the evil one at my proving grounds, but you feeding the white bread, you were really the evil one. And until next time, make sure you feed your ducks healthy food.